Hello. Hello. Okay, wait. Someone can hear me, right? You can hear me. I'm testing this. Hello. Okay, wait. Someone can hear me, right? All right. You can hear me. I'm testing this. All right, perfect. So, okay, cool. Here we are. Hi. Hi, everybody. What's good? What's good? Welcome to this. We're about to code some stuff. All right. There's like an echo, which is weird. So like I can hear myself after I've typed something. So I'm just gonna like mute my own voice. There we go. Okay. So yeah, okay, here we go. We're gonna code some game AIs with OpenAI Gym. OpenAI is the startup, Elon Musk's startup. They want to decentralize everything, decentralize AI, make sure that it's not in the hands of just Google. So I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, I want to start off with like a few minute Q&A. If anyone wants to ask me anything, we could just get on that. You know what I mean? So what's up, everybody? Ask away. I will wait just a little bit and then we'll get right into the code. I've never done this before, so this is. Do I think I'm a programmer? I think sometimes that happens. I think from time to time I'm a programmer, but I really try not to be. Like I don't want to be a programmer, but like I think I can be sometimes. How old am I? I am 25 years old. I'm 25 years old. Yes. What do I do for a living? I do this YouTube thing full time. That's my living. I just do YouTube full time. I'm not making that much right now. I mean, it's getting better and better, but right now it's like it's still climbing up in terms of the money I'm making. Ads are not good, by the way. Like that stuff is just not working out. So there are other methods. Clients approaching me and stuff to make videos for them. What ingredients do I usually put on hamburgers? I usually put, oh my God, these questions are really coming in. What ingredients do I put on hamburgers? I put onions. That's right. I know a lot of people hate onions, but I love them. And I like everything spicy. It's probably because I grew up eating spicy food because my parents are Indian and I was born in Texas. So like double spice whammy there. What is your favorite machine learning library to use? It is TensorFlow. Are your pants a compressed file? Because I'd love to unzip them. Thank you. They are compressed right now. Are you an AI researcher? Not officially. What's your qualifications? I went to school at Columbia, studied machine learning there, worked in the robotics lab, worked at Twilio, been a software engineer for 2 years, studied machine learning for 2 years on my own. Are you going to school? No. No, I'm not. School is overrated. Learn everything from the internet. Yeah, I know that's kind of like, weird or whatever, but like learn everything from the internet. Traditional school is stupid. Where do you work? I work on this YouTube channel full time. What's your education? My education is college, undergrad. Are we all just modifying scripts? I guess so. When did you start programming? Like freshman year of college, I was like studying finance, and I was like, okay, I need to like make some money. I want to do some great things in my life. So I took a semester off and I went to Europe for a couch trip for 3.5 months. I stayed with a guy named Alex McCaw, and he was awesome. And he like inspired me. He wrote the book on JavaScript, and he has a startup now, and he traveled the world for a year. So I think just meeting somebody really inspirational in person just changed me. And I was like, okay, I got to do computer science stuff. So that was freshman year of college. Have you taken psychedelic substances? The answer is yes. Do it in a controlled environment with someone you care about. Would you present WaveNet? I have in a video. Check out Generate Music with TensorFlow. Yes, I'm going to do a video on Google's new research paper, the machine translation one soon. A brain fuck machine learning program. That would be awesome. Okay, what's your favorite computer vision project? Probably OpenCV still, because like, I mean, Europeans have like tried to make their own CV thing. Sorry, Americans are still better at software definitively. If you learn everything from the internet, how do you prove that what you know when you apply for a job if you have no title? That's a good question, actually. I mean, with Udacity, there's like nano degrees, so there's that. There's projects, and then there's just like presenting yourself in person. So I think like your GitHub repository, like GitHub profiles are the new resume, at least if you're in software. I want to do more than YouTube to inspire and equip developers. I'm looking at other methods. This is one way. I'm experimenting right now. When did you start learning ML? I would say I started learning ML 2 years ago. Is a master's degree worth it? I think that a master's degree is worth it for 2 reasons. You get the time to study and you don't have other obligations. If you can find the way to have the time to study without a master's degree, then I would go for that, because the bureaucracies involved with graduate school can totally get in the way. So really it's just about money and time. Like if you can find a way to study, go for it. That's what I did. The best MOOC I've come across for ML is probably the Udacity one by Google on deep learning. It's that one dude who works at Google, and it's using TensorFlow, and it's like 4 modules. And Andrew Ng's course is great, but it's totally overrated. In fact, that's one of the reasons I started my channel, is because there's not enough application-specific code. It's all just like, here's this like huge algorithm, this huge equation, like do whatever you want with it. And so my videos are more like, here's this huge algorithm, but like, here's what you can do with it. Favorite idol. My favorite idol is probably Kanye West, Tupac Shakur, and President Obama. Who else? Let's see. I just like revolutionaries, people who like just don't give a shit. They just like, you know, they have something to say and they want to say it really loud. So yeah. And also Ian Goodfellow at OpenAI, because generative adversarial networks are awesome. And just like everybody who works at DeepMind, because that stuff is awesome. Why Harambe died, I don't know. Tiano or TensorFlow? TensorFlow because it has more support for it. How easy it is to find a remote ML job? It's actually really easy compared to other types of jobs. For someone new to ML, would Khan Academy cover the math you need? Absolutely. I love Khan Academy. And Khan Academy, if you're watching this for some reason, you know, contact me, because I want to get on that. Murphy's probabilistic tests are elements of statistical learning. I would actually not recommend reading a textbook, because for me, whenever I read a textbook, I'm just like super bored. I'm like, oh my God. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, I learned a lot, but like really, I just feel like what do I do with all this? Like I prefer like short form articles, long form articles, videos, and implementing things. That's the best way to learn for me, is just to implement. So Arjun, I would just like go to GitHub, search machine learning, and just like start like recoding those projects that you see. Another job to earn more money? I don't right now. I do this full time. Hopefully it works out. R or Python? 100% Python for ML and data analysis. R is like, Python is just way more modular. It has way more support. I saw that YouTube 8 million thing today. My plans for the future, I want to be the Bill Nye of computer science. I want to be like the guy who like people look at and they're like, that guy inspired me. I want to do machine learning. I just want to get everybody to do machine learning. I think it's the future. I think that's what everything will be, everything is going to like involve machine learning in some way. If you don't know Python and you want to do C, no, dude, you should totally, like, Python is better than C, because C involves like, you know, dealing with memory and like deadlocks. If you're new to programming, you should definitely start off with Python. How did I learn coding? I started to What did I do? Oh, I had this idea. Okay, so I remember in college, the way I learned coding was everybody went home for winter break, and I stayed in. So it was like 2 weeks, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And I stayed in for winter break, and I had this idea for this iPhone app where you could just like wave your phone like a conductor's baton, and it would change the tempo of the music in real time. And so I was just like, I got to do this. So just based on the idea, I like forced myself to learn iOS, and like it was super hard, but like by the end, like when I finally started moving the phone and the tempo started changing, I had to learn about fast Fourier transforms. I had to learn about audio engineering, but by the end of it, it actually worked. And the app was kind of bad, but like it worked. And so that success like kept me going, and it made me want to do more and more. Thanks for saying you love my channel. Node.js is better for machine learning. I guess it is. Yeah, the Udacity course. Search deep learning Udacity, Google. It's going to be the first link. My favorite ML podcast would be, or blog, would be, I'm not sure. There's so many. I just like the machine learning subreddit. That's where most of my stuff comes from. Build apps in real time. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. C is faster for sure. But I guess with Python, you can wrap C shells and then call them in Python. So you don't actually have to write the C. So there's C happening under the hood, but like Python is great for like understanding things. The best tutorial for TensorFlow are my videos so far, and also Google's official ones on their website. So what are my sources for learning about machine learning? The machine learning subreddit. The what else is there? There's Hacker News. There's the Futurology subreddit. There's I follow a few machine learning researchers on Twitter. So like Board Jan LeCun, which is not real, but it's actually hilarious. And there's one more, Balaji Srinivasan on Twitter. All of the guys who work at Andreessen Horowitz are all like really on the ball when it comes to what's next. I did do the Andrew Ng course. I didn't remember much of it. So like I would just like, that's like part of the reason I started my channel. Because I just thought it was boring. Hi, do I work? Yes, I'm worried about advanced AI, and I think the best way to solve that is to make sure it's democratized and everybody has access to it. And I think that AI should augment ourselves. So we'll have like a neural lace in our brain or some kind of chip or something, or even, you know, with the iPhone 7, you just put it in your ear, you can start talking to Siri. So it's going to be less and less weird to talk to your phone. But I think AI can augment us and make us better rather than it being like a separate thing, like a god, that it just like controls us. It should make us gods. So that's what I think will help us not have an evil AI. Okay, we're going to start building the game bot in 30 seconds. Here we go. I'm going to answer any last questions. Favorite place in the world to go hiking is Yosemite. How do I keep myself fit? Yes, I go to the gym. Yes, I would collaborate with ML people. Game theory and AI, that's a long question. If you want to become an AI researcher, start learning, just go to GitHub and like, go to the TensorFlow GitHub repository to the model section and try to re-implement all of those models. Okay, here we go. We're going to start building this bot. Yes, I like drugs from time to time. Okay, here we go. We're going to start. We're going to start building this thing. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. I just have to just get on this. So the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. Okay, here we go. Desktop. All right, and here I am. I'm going to show up here. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to go Sublime. And I'm going to make a directory, and I'm going to say, let me make sure that I'm still on here. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna minimize this so I don't have to. Okay, there we go. All right, and this is gonna be minimized. Make sure it's all good. I'll put this up here, and we're gonna get started in a second. It's laggy, right? It's laggy, but you guys can still hear me, right? Like even though it's laggy. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say make directory. I'm going to make a new directory. So I'm going to start this bot. I'm going to say make directory test1, test1. Okay, that already exists. Make directory test2. Okay, So cd test2. Now I'm in my test2 directory, right? Okay, here we go. So the first thing I want to do, okay, make sure it's all good. There's so many windows open right now. Holy shit. Audio is not laggy, at least. Okay, cool. Green CLIs for real hackers. Well, I like whatever I like. Okay, so here we go. So first thing I want to do is clone Gym. So the Gym repository is the reinforcement learning library created by OpenAI. We're going to clone it into this. Oh, increase the font size. Good call. Thank you. Thank you. How are we going to do this? Boom, 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 boom. Right? How's that? Okay, we increase the font size. I'm in the corner over here. Boom. Make sure it's all good. Okay, so now that Gym is in here, we're going to cd into Gym. The Gym is like a training gym for AI. It makes it better and better over time. And we want to install everything. So we're going to use pip, our Python module, to install literally everything. Okay, so it's literally going to install all of our dependencies for Python, for Gym, and that's it. That's all. So when this is done, we're ready to go. Okay, so now that we've installed Gym, we're going to run our first environment. Okay, so I'm going to use Sublime. Sublime is my text editor of choice, and I'm going to say test run.py. So it's going to open that up in Sublime. So I'm going to bring that down here. Okay, and here we go. Here we go, here we go. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import Gym. Okay, that's the environment. And then I'm going to create an environment. Okay, so it's gonna be Gym, Gym. Yeah, this is gonna be on the channel at the end of the transmission. You're gonna be able to view it afterwards. So yeah, anyway, so the first step is to initialize the environment. What are we gonna train the agent in? Okay, so so it's kind of not HD right now, guys. I'm sorry about this. This is my first live stream, but it's going to be better next time. If I do this next time, I probably will, because this is kind of fun. All right, increase font size. Good call, good call, good call. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. I'm going to increase the font size. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's huge. All right, so we're going to initialize our environment. It's going to be cart pole. So the cart pole environment is just like a stick, right? So the cart pole game is like a stick, and it's just trying to balance as a box move. Okay, I don't use an IDE because I don't have time for that. It's just bloated. I just want a simple, Python just super fast. You run a script, that's it. Okay, so here we go. So we got cart pole, right? And we're going to reset the environment, which means it just means let's get started. It just means initialize, the environment is ready to go. So we're going to run this for 1,000 time steps. Okay, so we're going to say 1,000 time steps. And for each time step, we want to render the environment. So we're going to say, okay, so then we're going to be able to view it. Okay, so we're going to say, take a step. And a step means we're going to take a random step. So that means the agent, in our case, it's going to be the cart pole, is going to move in a random direction every time. And so the method of doing this is action space sample. So that's the method that says take a random action. Okay. Okay. So let's just see how that works. We're going to run just that script. That's it. So we're going to say Python test run.py. Boom. What happens? Oh, Python test run.py. Invalid syntax. What the hell? Okay. Here we go. Oh, right. Yeah, that thing. Cool. Let's run this. No module name request. Oh my God. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to make sure we have virtual environment. We'll create a virtual environment, right? All right, thanks, guys. Okay, so we have a virtual environment. We're going to source our virtual environment, which means that we can see what's going down here. Okay, and we're going to say pip install requests. Okay, and so then we're going to run it again. Oh, and NumPy. So, I got to reinstall that stuff. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to reinstall Gym one more time. I forgot. You have to redo your environment. Okay. You have to create a virtual environment so that your dependencies aren't all over the place. I always create a virtual environment for every repository that I make. Okay, so once this is done, we're going to run this code. This is the code one more time. We create the environment 1,000 time steps, render at every time step, and then take a random step. That's all it does. Hey, thanks for coming to the party, Anthony. It's all good. Here we go. Test run. Let's see it. Boom. Okay. That's it. That's all it did. It just ran for 1,000 time steps. It didn't do it. It didn't learn anything. Now we're going to add a little bit of logic to this. Okay. So the great thing about Gym is it is a reinforcement learning library. Okay. It's all about learning through trial and error. The agent is going to get better and better over time. Okay, Arjun, a virtual environment is kind of like it's like creating a container where you say, okay, I don't want to have to deal with anything else on my operating system. I don't want to have to mess with any other dependencies. I just want to be in this like empty box, and in this empty box, I'm going to reinstall all of my. Oh man, these comments are hilarious. I'm just going to install all the dependencies I need for this specific repository. I do it every time I have a new repository. Okay, so let's make this thing smarter. Let's add some actual machine learning in here. Okay, so we're gonna keep this card pull environment. Okay, and I'm gonna say for a number of episodes. Let's say I episode. Each episode is like if your cart falls over. So I'm going to say for a number of episodes in the range of 20. So for 20 episodes, I'm going to get an observation from my environment. An observation is different depending on whatever your environment is. Gym has like 1,000 environments. You could have Pac-Man. You could have a bunch of Atari games. You could have even 3D games, Doom. So we're just using card pull because that's simple for right now. So I'm going to say, okay, so for this observation, we're going to reset, which means like just get that first observation, okay? And then we're going to say, I want 100 time steps for every, episode, okay? So we're going to render this environment at every time step, and we're going to print out whatever we're observing. In our case, in the case of the cart pull, it's going to be an array of velocities of where the cart pull is moving. We haven't done any machine learning yet. I'm just rendering this thing as it moves, okay? But we're about to. This is the machine learning part, okay? I'm going to take an action, okay? And this action is going to be a random. It's going to be a random action, and for range 100, okay. T in range 100, yes. Oh, yes, thank you, E. Yep, good call. All right, cool. I'm not running on a GPU, I'm running on a CPU on a MacBook. Okay, so here we go. So for that action, we're going to take a step, and a step is going to complete the agent environment loop, okay? I'm gonna explain that in a second, but we're gonna get back an observation. So we're going to get back an observation, a reward, done info, and we'll take a step. So what's happening here is a step function completes an action, and it returns back 4 variables. The observation is what it sees. The reward is, it's different depending on whatever environment you're in. In our case, it's that the pole is still standing up. So it's going to be a set of velocities. Done is just a Boolean, like did we die or not? And info is a bunch of diagnostics. That's it. That one line is the reinforcement learning that's happening here. Okay, so we're going to say like, okay, so if we're done, then just print out, okay, episode is finished. Windows is not live. Episode is finished. Windows is bad. Sorry, Windows sucks. After time steps. After whatever number of time steps, okay? Now, and then we're going to say break. We're going to say break. Okay, so let's run that, okay? So this is the actual machine learning. This is the reinforcement learning. It's the agent environment loop. All right, so let's run this baby. Boom. So what it's printing are the velocities. Like as it's moving, it's learning to get better every time. Okay, and so the episode is finished. So that trains our agent, and we can save those weights over time. Let's see. Let me answer what I missed. The old "Hello World," it's Siraj. Hello World, it's Siraj. There you go. There it is. Okay, what does step actually do? Step completes an action. Step is a function that takes an action and actually implements it in the rendered environment. Make a bit for synthetic gradients paper. I really want to make one. I have been waiting to make one on that paper. That paper is so dope. When I read that paper, I was like, oh my God, back propagation is not a thing anymore. This is amazing. So yes, I will make one on that. Ubuntu is life. Word. Is there a way to run TensorFlow and OpenAI on Windows? Great question. I know there's a way to run TensorFlow. I'm not sure about OpenAI. Okay. So that was a simple problem. Now I'm going to let's see. I want to do something a little more complicated. So I'm going to say we're going to do something a little more complex. So we're going to do the same thing in the carpool environment, but we're going to use something called hill climbing as a policy. Okay. So hill climbing means we're going to not just try a bunch of random steps, but update our weights by making sure that, hi, Nico. Yeah. All right, you guys are getting obsessed with weed now. Like, all right, just chill. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. We're focused right now, right? Okay, here we go. We got to be focused. Let's focus here. All right, so hill climbing is a technique where we say initialize weights randomly. And we're going to initialize weights randomly, and then if the weights are good, if the reward is like a good thing, then we want to save those weights. So we incorporate memory into this as well. It's not just randomly trying things. We use our memory, just like our brains use memory as well. So utilize memory to save good weights. Yeah, focused, exactly. TensorFlow with Arduino, yes, there is. The Japanese cucumber farmer did something like that. If you go to GitHub and type in TensorFlow Arduino, I promise you 100% you will find at least 3 repositories. Okay, so here we go. So, right. So, also I want to import NumPy because I'm about to do some math magic in here. Okay, here we go. Won't this be stuck on local maximas? No. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is define a run episode. Okay, and I'm going to say the 2 parameters for that are going to be the environment and the parameters. The parameters are going to be the weights. Okay. So this, hold on a second. Okay, so this is going to be our implementation of the agent environment loop. It's going to take our agent from start to finish, and it's going to result in some reward value depending on whatever action. And we're going to initialize it after we've initialized our environment, okay? So this is a function that we're going to initialize after we initialize our environment. Okay, so will the stream be available to watch tomorrow? Yes, it will be. And I'm going to end it in like 10 minutes, okay? So that's because I've got some technical writing to do, and I've got other stuff to do for the channel. Okay, here we go. So first things first. Okay, first things first. We're going to get our observation like we always do. All right, that's the first thing we do in an episode. And then we're going to make this total reward variable. Yeah, I could test it on Mario. I will remember that for next time. So for 200 time steps, we're going to do this, okay? So for in the range of 200, we're going to render our... You can test it on literally any game. Amaya, yes. Yes, I'm going to upload this sample code, Carlos. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to put it in the description for this video. Okay, so we're going to say, okay, go ahead and render our environment like we always do. Okay, so now we're going to initialize random weight vectors. Okay, so I'm going to say, take an action. Okay. And if it's 0, so actually I'm just gonna like type this out because like it's hard to do like a million things at once right now. Let me just type this out and I'm going to then explain it in a second. Okay, it's less than 0, else 1. Okay, so what's happening here is I'm initializing random weight vectors as parameters and multiplying by their respective observation. And I'm going to use matrix multiplication to sum the products. And if the total is less than 0, then we move left. Else we move right. So what this is doing is it's randomly initializing a set of weight vectors to move the pole left or right. Okay, that's all it's doing, left or right. Okay, let me see what the comments up here are. Let's see. What's the difference between range and X-range? So range returns a list, and X-range returns an X-range object, which is kind of like an iterator and generates numbers on demand. I think it's weird because in Python 3, range does what X-range used to do, and X-range doesn't exist. So if you want to write code that will run on both Python 2 and Python 3, you shouldn't use X-range. So I'm just being weird. So use range. Yeah, exactly, Mighty Magic. Yeah, exactly. So can you upload? Will you rebroadcast this video later? Yes. Okay. Let me see. Am I still okay? Cool. Everybody's in here. Everybody's good. Okay. So here we go. Where were we? So yeah, I've initialized random weights. Initialize random weights. Okay, and then we got this. We can finish this, guys, in 8 minutes. All right, we got 8 minutes left. And so I'll also try to squeeze in time for more questions, which you guys can also ask while I'm doing this. Okay, here we go. So now I want to get my observation and my reward and done and info. And that's going to happen as I take the step function, as always, the environment.step, and I complete the action, okay? And so now I'm going to increase my reward. So I'm going to say total reward, that variable that I initialized before, is going to get whatever is in my reward now. So if it's done, so that means if the pole tipped too far, if done, then break, right? And then return the total reward. All right, so there's that. So that is our run episode function. Okay. Hi, Reddit. Yes, exactly. So now, I'm going to do the actual train function. Okay, here we go. So training time. Let's train this baby. What's the observation? The observation in this case is it's an array of velocity values. So it's a set of vectors of where the pole is in space. What model does this actually use? The model is it's a type of reinforcement learning that is called it's the agent environment loop. Thank you, Omar. I will definitely do more of these. It seems that depending on how you guys like this, which it seems like this is good. This is kind of fun. This is crazy. This is like a rush right now. I'm like, I've never done this before, so I feel like I'm in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. So okay, here we go. So now it's time to initialize our environment. So I'm going to say gym.make cart pole v0. All right, and so now I've made my environment. And now I'm going to say, okay, episodes per update equals 5. So that's how many episodes I want. And so now I'm going to define a function called noise scaling. So noise scaling is it's a value that I'm going to multiply my weights by every time so that they get better over time. So this is the actual hill climbing policy. So that's the name of the policy. It's hill climbing, which answers your question, Mighty Magic. It's hill climbing. That's the type of policy. The environment line from above. Let's see. The environment line from above. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do need to delete that. Thank you for catching that, Hisham. Thank you. All right, here we go. So noise scaling. All right, we did that. Total reward, noise scaling. Where was I? Where am I based? I will fix all that. I'm in San Francisco, California. All right. All right, here we go. So now I'm going to create my parameters. Why is this kind of not like, oh, thank you, Lozier. Okay, so now I'm going to randomly initialize vectors of weights. I'm going to say parameters equals numpy.random, numpy.random.rand for times 2 minus 1. So that's going to initialize a set of weights between -1 and 1, okay? That's just what that is. So then I'm going to say best reward equals 0, and that's the reward that I'm going to save later, okay? So I'm going to run this for 2,000 episodes, okay? That's what I want to run this for. So I'm going to say in the range of 2,000, run this-ish, okay? Is noise scaling like the learning rate in a way? Yes, yes, it is. That's a great question. It is just like that. It is something that improves your training over time, just like the learning rate does. Okay, so new params equals parameters plus numpy.random. And so this is going to be the same thing, that set of initialized weights between -1 and 1 minus 1. And this is where the noise scaling goes. I'm going to say times noise scaling. This is the machine learning part right here, okay? So it's going to update that new set of parameters every time, okay? First return not in a good place. Oh yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for that, Andreas. Okay, here we go, here we go. All right, so now, okay, reward is run episode. We're gonna get that reward. We're gonna use our run episode function, okay, that's gonna complete the agent environment loop. And we're going to say environments as the parameter, the one we just initialized, and that new set of parameters that we initialized. Okay, those are the two parameters that we're going to use. So that's going to be our reward. And now we're going to print that. We're going to say print. We're going to print reward. Reward. Blah. And then best. And then we're going to say reward, and then best reward. So that's going to show us the difference, right? Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, one more little last thing. Okay, so we're going to say if the reward improves with noise, we want to update the reward and keep the weights. So if reward is greater than best reward, then best reward will then become whatever the reward was, and parameters. It's going to get what the new parameters are. And then finally, if the upper threshold of 200 is reached, which we want to set for the reward, then we break. That's it, okay? So there's that. Where else are we? I'm struggling to see everything here. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So now we're going to just run this. We're going to say train. We're going to run our train function with submit equals false because we don't want to submit it anywhere. And then we're going to say print. Okay, so let's just run that shit. Could you reduce noise over time? We could reduce it over time. I think for this simple example, we're going to keep it static. But there's a bunch of things. Yeah, no, absolutely, you could reduce it over time. You could try different. You can make sure your weights aren't random. You could try weights that are synthetic. I mean, you could look at different policies. That's the fun of it. Like OpenAI has totally gamified this whole process. So let's run that. Ah, fuck. Okay, sorry. Yeah, oh my God, okay. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, global name observations is not defined. Where is that? What line is that on? Global name observations is not defined. That is underline 17. Let's see that, guys. What's going on here? Global name observation. Oh, observations is not defined. Observation, there we go. Run that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so yeah, it's doing hill climbing. It's doing hill climbing. It's doing hill climbing. Whoa. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm really happy that this is working. Okay, where's the next for the 4? So it is trying a bunch of random weights, and it is multiplying that noise scaling constant that we had before every time. If the weights are better, it's remembering those weights instead of just continuously trying other new random weights. And that way it gets better and better over time, okay? This is going to run for probably like, isn't it so good when it works? Are the weights part of a neural network? That is a great question, Mighty Magic. It is part of a neural network. Okay, it's a one-layer neural network. So the best way is 11, and the old one is so the best one is on the right, and the old one is on the left. And hopefully it finishes soon. Yes, it is like a genetic algorithm. Is there a way to make it deeper or change the size of hidden layers? Not with just Gym. We would have to integrate TensorFlow, which I can do in a future video. I think TensorFlow and Gym go together very well. But yeah, so that's it training. So now while it trains, I'm going to answer. I'm going to give it 5 more minutes to answer any other questions. So I'll just go for it, just like whatever you want. I will reveal all. Just go for it. You know what I mean? If you guys have any questions and stuff. So let me just full screen this baby so there's less lag. All right. Stop screen sharing. Okay, I think there's less lag now, right? Okay, so hi. So there's less lag. Can you show the show while the code while it's running as well? Yes, I can show the code in a second. You know, I'm just going to link to it later. What is the best Linux distro to get started in TensorFlow, Ubuntu? Do more of these if you have time. I totally will. How many years until a Jarvis-like AI is real? I would say a decade from now. At a decade from now, 7 to 10 years. Where to start learning ML like full time? No puny little 10-minute shit. Oh my God, I love it. You guys are so funny. Where to start learning ML? My channel. Start from video 1, go all the way through, implement all the code associated with my videos. Thanks, Tyler. You are awesome. I learned it very well in 2 months for a gig. Watch my videos, and also go to the machine learning subreddit. Go to it every single day. I've made it a habit of mine. I wake up, go to the machine learning subreddit, look through everything. People are super harsh in the machine learning subreddit, by the way. Like, they will just tear everything apart. Usually, like, skeptical people who are like super smart are like that anyway. If you meet one of these ML researchers, they're just like these hypercritical people. They'll just like tear you down with their eyes because, you know, they're just like like scientists, right? Who is hiring for these skills? Absolutely everybody. In fact, the nano degree guy at Udacity, who I'm working with, oops, I just revealed that. By the way, the self-driving car course, like, I'm an assistant instructor for that. Awesome. Just because the guy saw my videos. But that guy was like, even if we had, Udacity is awesome. He's like, even if our course was full, we would still have like less than 1% of the need for self-driving car engineers. So who is hiring for these skills? Literally, like, everybody will soon start hiring for these skills. Like, right now there's like tech companies and not tech companies, but soon every single company is going to be a tech company. Awesome, Nico, you're awesome. Will you organize meetups as well? I'm actually having my first talk tomorrow at the Write the Docs meetup in San Francisco. Write the Docs, because you're asking me like how I do all this stuff. But yes, I want to organize meetups. Definitely like shoot me an email with some ideas. Like, I'm open to it. Cool. How much math do you think is needed to do real research? Yo, you definitely need some actual, like, real, like, cutting edge stuff. Then you've got to know some math. I would say like linear algebra, statistics, and game theory, and also just like quantum physics. That has nothing to do with machine learning, but like quantum physics, quantum mechanics, that stuff is just like, it puts you in this way of thinking that I think can be applied to machine learning. Yo, I would love to come to Brazil at some point. Hi, graph theory, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Amazon is paying shit tons of gold, and I would love to do, yes, I'm working with Sebastian through. Yeah, wow, to everything. Cool, wow, so this was a trip. All right, guys, well, one more question and then I'm out. Whichever question I see first. Let's see, just go for it. Just let's see it. I'm ready for this. Yes, anytime. How would you use ML to look at your video, for example, and see when the video changed from just your face to the view of your code? Um, uh, um, Girls do think ML is sexy because we are going to make it sexy, right? Let's make it sexy because we're awesome. Um, Awesome. Do I own Bitcoins? I do. I actually used to be super obsessed with Bitcoins. If you guys look at my older videos, you'll see like this Bitcoin music video I made, which is actually pretty hilarious. But I definitely want to make a machine learning music video soon that's like more, production heavy, because like once you get a 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and they let you use their studio space in LA, which I'd like to use for a music video, I just don't have time because I'm like doing this full time. Am I still a researcher or working for any company? I'm not working for anybody. I am working for me, and then clients approach me. No one can buy me out except for DeepMind. So yes, DeepMind, if you're watching, you can totally buy me out. I will do anything for you. A Tupac machine learning video would be awesome. Do I program in other languages? Yeah, I mean, like when I worked at Twilio, like I had to write documentation in like 10 different languages, and like, but I just prefer Python because it's just simple. Like, like this stuff is just like, I just want to get right to the good stuff, the logic, the algorithms. That's what matters. It's not the syntax stuff. Just pick some language and just go for it. Like, and I would say it's Python. Okay, deep learning is not going away anytime soon. It's going to evolve into something better. In my opinion, we're going to start getting into one-shot learning. Like that's what's going to come after deep learning, where you don't need like a huge amount of example to train things. And what am I doing in my free time? What do I do in my free time? Yeah, that's a good question. So besides doing this, I've recently started taking like Bruce Lee classes to kind of be like Bruce Lee. I freestyle rap, and I hang out with my friends. And how did Objective-C break my heart? It just when I saw Swift, I was like, yo. Why did I? Okay, I'll tell you how Objective-C broke my heart. I was like splitting strings with like in like 4 or 5 lines of code in Objective-C, and I was like, yo, this takes so long to do. Like I just need like to do it in Swift. You just do it in 1 line. In Python, it's just in 1 line. Objective-C doing anything. Yes, Jeet Kune Do. Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm excited because I met this dude. He is awesome. Why don't I do a freestyle rap right now and memorize my ML lyrics? I will do a quick rap. Here we go. I mean, I need a beat, but like, let's just go for it. Here we go. I'm just gonna freestyle. Yo, I got back propagation. I do it for this nation. You guys see me? I'm like a hardcore Phasian. Yeah, I'm from the planet Phasia. I came out here and take you synthetics out like a geisha from Japan with all the stuff all around. It's like I'm Peter Pan. I fly in the clouds. Okay, that was it. Anyway, Baze is cool. I'm not saying anything bad about Baze. Like Baze is pretty cool. A Bitcoin trading bot. That would be a lot of. Okay, Encore.ai. That's actually my next video. Nope. Thank you. Recommendation systems. I actually did build a recommender system. That's machine learning for hackers #4. Check that out. I got to redo that video because I used to talk way too fast. And I know, Anthony. I know that was amazing, wasn't it? Okay, no. Okay. Yo. Okay, Megdici. I need to understand this question. Okay, thank you. I love Tunisia as well. I want to go there eventually when I go there. Okay. Can the TensorFlow? Yes, can it work with a video stream? I guess so. I guess it could work with a video stream. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Like, do you mean like training it on like video frames? Why no Windows? Because I don't know, like I switched over to Unix-based systems and I never went back. And I know with Satya Nadella and stuff, Microsoft is trying to be all cool and stuff and implement Bash like a terminal. But also I switched to an Android phone because like Google now is way better than Siri. I think Comma AI will be successful. 100% they're going to be bought out by probably Google. All right, guys. So that's it for now. I'm going to make more of these. Okay. Thank you for watching. I think this was a success. I'm going to hit stop broadcast. And thank you all for being here, and you're going to be able to see links to to a bunch of things. All right. So thank you guys for watching. For now, all right, let's see. For now, I've got to go to the bathroom to do things. So thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye. Mwah. Love you guys. Okay, bye. All right.